Isn't that a beauty? Quite the best of my egg toys, I think. It goes on to a half-minute cycle before it finally cracks open. Very nice piece of work there. Quite the best of my egg toys, and it's highly inventive. All run by 2 little button batteries. I'll turn you off now. You've done a very good job there. There's a tiny switch just there, and it goes back into its case, ready for the next performance. A very nice idea that. I got that only a few years ago, and it's quite wonderful. So I'm showing a few more of my egg toys here. That's probably a good start as any. And I've got one over here, which is probably the earliest one I ever got. It actually winds up. I could use a coin, but I'm going to use this thing to wind it up with. It's got a little winder mechanism there. You use a key and you just wind it up, and it's got a little kicker here. It's wound up, and each time I do that, out comes a little piece of plastic. That bit of plastic comes up, it acts as a kicker. Kick, kick, kick. So when it goes on the table like that, it starts going all over the place. Click, click, clicking, 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 clicking. Every time that little thing touches the bottom of the table, it does a kick. And it goes on moving for really quite a long time. It's got an awful lot of wind in the spring, so I think that probably gone for about 2 minutes. I know it's a bit long, but it's a very, very nice and very unusual wind-up egg, the like of which I've only ever seen that one time. This is about 40 years ago when I came across it for the first time. Little kicker, and just does that. So, well done, you've done your stuff. You could go on for another 5 minutes, I would think, because I wound it up quite a bit. Wonderful thing. Here, by contrast, is a very new one, which I got really for very small children. The idea is sort of 3-year-old, 4-year-olds have to learn to pick up and shake these and listen to the sounds they make and try and find a matching pair. So if you pick this up and shake it, I'll put it near my mic, you can hear quite a large rattling sound, little bees or something. That's one. Can we find one that goes with it? Let's try this one. I'll shake this and I'm hearing a very soft shh, 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 shh. No, that doesn't match, so that won't match that one. We've got to find another one. Let's try this one. It's almost the same, but I think you'll find that's larger beads and that's smaller beads. So let's go a little bit further in and see if we can find one that makes a slightly louder rattling sound. Yes, that's getting for that one there, I think. Let's try this one. Oh, there we are. Now that one and that one match. So the small child realises, just due to the hearing and nothing else, that those are the matching pair. So they'll put them in the box as an adjacent pair, and then they've got to work out from these which of these match now. So again, pick it up. It sounds like salt in there or something like that. Very, very fine-grained things. Yes, that's right. Those are very quiet. Shush, 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 and shush, shush, shush. Those are the matching pairs. So these must match. But just to confirm it, yes, okay, we've got a slightly smaller rattling sound in there, a rattling sound. So there we've done it. A biggish rattle sound, a smallish rattle sound, and a very soft sound like sand or salt or something. And the kids succeeded in doing the problem and found it out, all from hearing. It's nice. The only toy I've got which really does rely on the hearing sense and nothing else. And I got it from a company that sells everything for nursery children, and only something like that appeals to me because it's something I've never seen before as a toy. Very small children, but good. There's a very strange toy here which I picked up from America a few years ago, and it's supposed to be a giant Jurassic mosquito, they say. It's even got holes in it as if it needs to breathe or something. Inside there's some straw which came with it, and here is a bizarre looking thing. Now, can you see that? Or is it too difficult to see on the camera? There's a very weird sort of thing with legs in there. And of course, it's not a real thing, but it's something they probably have discovered in amber, which means it's been coated with resin when it's flying around 65 million years ago, and then it's hardened and produces something like this, which would be actually a rosin, making rosin powder. This one actually bounces though; it's a lovely bounce to it. And when it was being shown at the trade fair at New York, the guy was somehow able to throw it with a spin like that, so it hit the ground and came back in the same direction, which I found extraordinary. I've tried and failed, but I must keep going. But I think he did it both ways, both the sharp side of the egg downwards, spun hard to make it have gyroscopic stability, and it came back somehow the same way. I found that amazing. But he did it casually all the time he was showing it. And on the last day of the toy fair, he let me buy one of these giant Jurassic mosquito eggs. Well, there we are. Here's a bit of fun. This is from the States again. It's just to show, it's a little ornamentation piece, all made of plastics and things, to show a broken egg. With the white of the egg spread out, there's the yolk, and a big eggshell there, and it's even got a stamp on the mark to show the farm it's come from. But it's just a very sweet little thing you can pick up and then drop down somewhere on someone's plate if you like. It's a little thing to look at. It's an ornamentation, really, of a cracked egg. Here's something even more bizarre. It bounces. I nearly got this for one of my nieces, who's a bit nut intolerant, so I can't buy eggs normally because the chocolate contains nuts in them. But I thought I did find something else instead. But actually, I got this, would you believe, from a pet shop. This is not meant for human beings. It's supposed to be an Easter egg to be played with by a dog. The point is that's a nice, firm, hard plastic that you can hold like that. And when you squeeze it, with its jaws, it goes, squeaks nicely, and it bounces around. So perfect thing for a small dog to play with as their little Easter gift. Nice one, that. So I've got it in my collection, even though it's not meant for children to play with, but of course children will. They'll love it, especially with the squeak. I like that. There's a company in East Germany, or the former East Germany, which has been making these wonderful cardboard eggs for about the last 150 years, I think. They have a lovely stand at Nuremberg Toy Fair. And the idea is you buy them and you fill them with goodies, with little paper straw, and then put real eggs, well, not real eggs, but chocolate eggs inside. Well, what I've done here is got my collection of nestling eggs. So these now, I originally had about 10 of these, all nestling inside of each other. There's just 6 now. But they're all very nicely made cardboard eggs, which you can put something there and then put the eggs inside and then hide it in the garden, and the children can go from Easter egg hunt. And I put the names of nephews and nieces, and later great nephews and great nieces, on these for in Easter Day, fun and games in the garden with their name on it. And they opened their egg up, and there was some lovely Easter chocolate goodies. Well, they're empty now, so I just keep them as a souvenir of former days of Easter with the family. But they're still made, I think, which is a very nice little thing. No one else, I don't think, has ever tried to copy this idea. It's a German idea. And they're all very decorative and look really, very pretty. I must try and find the other 3 that fit inside that, because I had a nestling set of, about 10 altogether originally. Oh, here's a nice idea. It's a packaging, in fact, but it's actually a zippable, zip-up egg. Extraordinary idea. What you put in it, I don't know. You don't need to put chocolate in it. You could put a scarf or a handkerchief or a tie in it, I suppose. But when you unzip it, it then opens up the normal way, and it's ready for you to put something into it with a zip. But nicely made, or made of cloth, and very cheerful, and lots of pink swids and pretty bows and things. So a nice one. What I actually keep in it is this remarkable one here, which is the last one, which is made by a wife of a friend of my office days when I was working. And the wife decided to try and copy Fabergé. Well, we had a Fabergé exhibition here in London quite recently, and one of my family went to see it, and they cost £1 million or £100,000 each. This one cost me £20, but I think it's well worth it. It's 30 years old now. It's beautifully made. It's got a lovely stand, and the egg itself is 2 eggs actually. There's an outer egg which has been cut with this very, very decorative window, and when you turn this, it turns the inner one. And it's got little pictures there which appear and then disappear as it turns round as well. So a very, 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 very beautiful little piece of artwork. And to my mind, well worth £20. I thought it was a very nice, must have been a lot of work to make that. If it encrusted with jewels and rubies and diamonds, yes, it would be a Fabergé egg and worth millions. But this is for my mind, is what I like for my collection. And it's a very nice one to keep it there. And this is where I store it, in an egg container with a little packaging as well to hold it. So that's the beauty, I think. Eggs, and I'm still looking for them, and I think I've got quite a few more yet still to find, but there's a few nice ones here. Do you like them?